I got money in my pocket and I'm about to not spend it yet. But it's coming up, I'm telling you. I'm going to spend.
What's the most you've ever spent on a Severin sale?
$780.
Was that November or their summer sale?
That was my first Black Friday. Vinegar Syndrome, it was $4,000.
That's insane, dude.
But
I
yeah,
probably never.
Seven's
I
very
think
easy to spend money on because because there was a lot more cheaper stuff, when I originally started.
that's okay. I don't think I've ever spent more than, like, I don't know, the Emmanuel set, 250 or something like that.
That was like 190, wasn't it?
Yeah, I don't know, something like that. It wasn't too bad. I mean, I can't imagine spending 7, 8, but I'm not the money man like you are.
That's because you're not a high roller.
Dude, I'm a low roller. I'm a low baller.
You're a low rider.
All right, so we have a few people in here already. We're going to jump over into what's going on with the sale, what we know about it.
Let's do it.
All right.
I wonder what the first thing could be.
Well, let's share the screen and find out what's going on. What's going on?
Oh, we've got some singing. Look at that sexy image. I'm
So
getting
what we
her.
have
I'm going to
is,
get her for the Severin sale.
okay, so the Severin summer sale is from July 12th to July 15th. So we're about a little bit less than a month away. We know there's going to be 10 releases because we have 10 empty chairs inside of not a movie theater, but a opera theater.
Opera, yes.
So a lot of people, you and I, when we set up this live stream, we thought opera was coming.
Yeah, we said it immediately, didn't we?
The first title out the gates is Dario Argento's
I love that.
opera.
I love that cover.
Looks like the same artist who did
Cemetery Man in that.
Cemetery Man, the church. Looks really good.
I actually think they look nice to give on the shelf.
What do you think about them coming out guns blazing and the first reveal being Dario Argento's probably his last masterpiece, a 5-disc,
I think
4K set?
I think the reason they did that was because they knew everybody would expect this because of because the chairs. So they went, you know what, let's get this one out of the way because we've got a few more bigger ones coming out, and this will disarm people because they go, oh, this was the big one. And as much as I do feel like this is a big one, I feel like there's a bigger one coming.
Really? Wow.
Yeah.
I mean, we're talking a UHD 5-disc. 1 disc is the CD soundtrack. The other 4 is just a plethora of extra features. We'll look at these real quick. Disc 1 is the director's cut, US cut, audio commentaries to death, opera trailer, Terror at the Opera trailer. Disc 2 is the 2:351 aspect ratio, director's cut, US cut. The Disc 3 Blu-ray 1851 director's cut. Again, a bunch of extra features.
Mental.
And then Disc 4 is just special features, one interview after another with just people in front, behind the scenes. Disc 5 is the soundtrack. There's an exclusive booklet. And
this is going to be massive.
As far as a solo release, this could be like the disc of the year, right? I mean, I'm wondering
if this is gonna look like the psychic one, where it had like the book and it had the case in it, because I feel like otherwise it's going to be too big. So I've got a feeling it's probably going to be a sideways one instead of a straight down.
Yeah, I mean, let me ask you this. How much is this going to cost us?
I reckon $65 to $75 easily.
I think so. Look at the size of the thing. Even from the side, it is huge. And it's 5 discs. Opera is one of the last masterpieces, classics from Argento that hasn't been 4K'd. We know Severin with their prices. It's gonna. Are you gonna buy?
Crazy.
Or are you going to wait 6 months or whatever to where it's discounted?
Uh, I'd like to buy it day one, but I'm probably going to wait, because if it's 75 and it turns out it's going to be 40 on sale, then I'll probably wait because I really don't think a movie's worth $75.
Regardless of how many discs or extra features. And I will say this, all the fanboys and girls that say, 4K is the holy grail of physical media, we've kind of caused this on ourselves. I think Severin could be better with their prices, but when you want 4K and it costs $10,000 to restore a single title, these are the kind of prices you're going to get on a regular basis. When you ask for it, you're going to get it.
I mean, don't get me wrong, I've got no problem with the amount of features. This is a packed edition for sure. And if you're going to watch all this and you're going to listen to all the audio commentaries at day one, go for it. But if you're like me, you want to watch the film and you would like to watch the extras, but they're not something you'd rush to watch like straight after. You'd like to wait a while, get the odd extra now and again. It's worth waiting the 6 months for someone like me.
Yeah, I'm still on the fence. I think a lot of the other movies that come with it will maybe entice me. I'm definitely not going to buy whatever all 10 films are going to be. There's no way I'm buying that bundle. We're going to jump from reveal number 1, Opera, to reveal number 2, which just came out today.
Yeah, this is a big one.
Simple Like Silver. Yep. It's the worldwide Blu-ray premiere. Looks like a more recent film. Stars one of the actresses from Opera, so there's that connection.
Yep.
It's a 70-minute film. What do you know about this one? I know nothing.
I know that this stars one of the women from Opera. I also know that it's called Simple Like Silver, and I also know that it's a summer sale exclusive, and it's 17 minutes long, and it's got 2 audio commentaries on it. I'm telling you right now, this has to be so far the movie of the movie of the South.
So you basically repeated what I said.
Yeah, because I've never heard of it before. I know a lot of people have, and a lot of people like it.
What year did it come out?
Well, if it came out 25 years after Opera, maybe in 2008.
Okay.
7.
So this is not something I'm going to rush to buy. Regardless, I can tell we have 10 empty seats, 10 disc releases. They went from a huge title to a smaller title. I think they're going to go back and forth. Big, small, big, small, kind of to spread it out. So there's a little bit of a high, there's a low, kind of keep people's expectations in check.
Yeah, I think there's going to be a Severin Kids title as well.
You think so?
Yeah. I think it's going to be Thomas Tank Engine and Friends.
Okay. Well, I don't want to spend too much time on this film because it just it doesn't look like my cup of tea.
It tells you a lot, though. If you look at the cover, you can see a lot of what it's about.
Yeah, what's it about?
A tree by a lake.
Okay. So I don't know if a lot of people have seen this ad. This is a Severin Films ad that was in a recent issue of Rue Morgue magazine. Now, you're paying this periodical to put in an ad for films that you're going to put out or you've already put out. So I see a number of films that have not been released yet or announced.
Can I name these films quickly? Can I name them?
Go for it.
Bad Biology, The Dragon Lives, Eyes of Fire.
No.
No. What else is there? Extraterrestrial. Hey, Dolph said yes.
Okay.
So yeah, there's quite a few there that haven't come out yet, which I just announced. And I know you're going to think, didn't Severin release this? Well, that's a Mandela effect.
Well, so we're going to go through these individually. I wanted people to see the ad. The picture quality is not spectacular, but upper left corner, we have Susanna. Next to it, we have Exorcismo. To the right of it is Killing for Culture, which was a book that's being turned into a documentary. So that much I do know. If you scroll down 2 rows below it, you see the one I'm really excited about, Slaughter High.
Yeah,
We're going to get into that more. And then the bottom left, you can barely see it, but it's Pieces. Which
that one's going to come out in the next Clones of Bruce Lee set because there's a clone of Bruce in that movie.
Okay, so now we've seen the ad. It's in the recent issue of Rue Morgue magazine.
You forgot Negatives.
Oh, thank you. Negatives is right over here. It's kind of pink. It's very pixelated. You can't see it. We're going to get out of the screen so people know what's going on. All right, we're back. And we're going to just jump into all those titles that we just looked at. We're going to start with Negatives is a film from Peter Medak. He also directed The Changeling, which Severin put a 4K out. This has played the film festival circuit. This one's, all these movies we're talking about, I think are either going to come from the sale for the summer or for November, the Black Friday. What do you think about this one, Negatives?
I think this is surely among the most erotic of movies. I really do, because it's pure eroticism.
Have you've seen it before?
Uh,
Other than the artwork? I mean, it does say eroticism, like in on all the
I just read the white bit as well that said purely. I've not seen that, but after reading that, I do want to see it. And then it's from the same guy that did The Changeling. The Changeling is a classic, right? So this could be one of those forgotten gems from people that have not seen it. So this would be one I'd definitely pick up. Plus with that hairstyle, how can you go wrong?
We're looking like what, late 60s, early 70s?
Yeah, but can you do me a favor quickly? Can you move over a little bit so it looks like the blonde hair is on your head?
There you go.
Oh, hold on, no.
Wait.
There we go. The blonde, there we go. Yeah.
Darth Sidious is sold.
It's sold.
Negatives. Yeah, I think what happens is Severin has a good working relationship with him, and he probably either had the rights or knew where to get them. And so Negatives is definitely one that I could see happening with the 8.
Is it a 70s film?
I want to say it was late 60s, early 70s.
Yeah, I thought it might be because the hairstyle and everything.
The makeup and hair. So Negatives. The next one from the ad, let me find. The Queen of Black Magic.
Mondo released this one on DVD.
So it looks like at one point Mondo Macabro put it on DVD, but I don't think it's ever had a Blu-ray release, right? This is probably just going to be a Blu-ray.
I think it's going to be a Blu-ray. Sadly, this was one way to get my collection because I've got a massive Mondo Macabro collection, but it was way too pricey for me. So the idea of a Blu-ray coming out is always a good sign for me.
Yeah, I mean, what is the nationality of the film? Where is it?
Spanish.
It's Spanish. Okay.
No, it's Indonesia. It says Indonesia. It looks Spanish, from the cover, but it's Indonesia.
I was going by the girl on the cover. It reminds me of like one of the films that like Television put out, Indonesian kind of. So I've never seen it. You've seen it before?
I've not seen this. I've seen quite a few Indonesian movies, and if this is the more horror kind, even if you don't like Indonesian movies, their horror movies can be quite fun in a silly kind of interesting way, like Santet and all that. Before
I forget, folks, can you do any of these things? I would appreciate it.
Yes.
Can you like, share, or subscribe to our channel? That's Malcolm and I. It's not my channel. It's not his. It's everybody. So I just want to throw that out there. Yeah. So you buy this one?
Yes, definitely, because I love Indonesian cinema.
Even though you thought it was Spanish?
Well, from the cover. I thought it was from the cover. You're the one who got the picture, and you didn't know.
I didn't know. Exorcismo, or this one, it's called Exorcism. This seems like I'd buy it. I've never owned it, never seen it.
You got a discounted Reagan on the cover.
Any kind of, Exorcist ripoff from the 70s. If it's a foreign film, which this is, it's going to be probably more, taboo bashing and more, trashy, which is I'm down for.
I've seen clips of this. I haven't seen the film, but I've seen clips of it. And there's a bit in it where she gets, possessed, and basically the guy jumps on top of her.
That really looks like Reagan in makeup on the cover, doesn't it? I don't think it is.
That's what I said. That's why I said it was a discounted Reagan.
I don't know if it's in the film that she looks like that, or it's a variation on Reagan. They just obviously capitalized on a film that made a ton of money.
Well, if you look on the back there, it doesn't look like her on the actual back.
Well, maybe she's in different states of demonic possession, but I'm down for this.
Is it demonic possession, or is it just that she's very excited and needs a man?
And she just can't hide it, and she's about to lose control?
And she thinks she likes it.
No, I would definitely buy this. Give me any kind of Exorcist-inspired film from the 70s.
I've seen clips of it. It looks fun. It does. Don't get me wrong. It looks cheap, but it looks fun.
Cheap is always a good thing.
Yeah. Especially practical effects.
Hell fucking yes.
Yeah.
Okay, so Pieces is in the ad. And now you might be saying, well, Grindhouse put out a 3-disc Blu-ray. Well, Severin would not be interested in that. They want to do a 4K. This is top tier 80s exploitation, just outrageous gore, a true Grindhouse, 42nd Street, sticky floors, back in the day in New York kind of film. I still own the DVD. I never got the Blu-ray. I'm absolutely down for a 4K of Pieces.
And you never got the puzzle then?
No, but
damn, the
way Severin does their add-ons and their stuff, they could do something similar.
They better. If they do that puzzle, I need a new one because mine's worked pretty hard.
Well, it's just a puzzle, right? You're not supposed to do anything else with it.
Well, it's got a little bit damp over the years, so hopefully I can replace it. And by the way, I do not think this is coming. I honestly believe it will be in the Clones of Bruce Volume 2 because one of the clones of Bruce is in it. Even if he's in it for 1 minute, he's in it. So it's technically a Bruce Lee clone movie.
The director of Pieces, J.P., was it Piquer or Juan Piquer Simon or Simon?
What? Juan Piquer Simon?
I don't know. I'm butchering his name, but I want to.
Are you trying to say Juan or Juan? Juan?
I don't know.
Juan?
I'm not going to repeat it again because it was so bad the first time and the second time. He didn't direct a lot of films, but I enjoyed every single one of them. Pieces, Endless Descent, Slugs is one of my favorite nature films. And through Vinegar Syndrome, it's got Cthulhu Mansion. Ooh. Oh, and also through Severin, he did the E.T. knockoff.
Oh, the one with Trumpy.
What Trumpy? Not that kind of Trumpy, but the Trumpy alien, yes.
The real Trump.
So I wanted to recognize him as a director. People don't talk about him much. He doesn't have a big resume.
Well, you want to recognize him as a director of a name you can't say. So
at least I tried. At least I remembered it. I just sometimes unless you hear somebody else say it properly, you're like, you just give it your best shot.
I prefer it the way I do it. It's one cup, P, my cup, war. I like that better, I think.
So this is a no-brainer. Definitely going to buy this. I'm hoping it's coming sooner than later.
I'd buy it day one. Even though I've got the Blu-ray, I'd buy it day one because I really like the film.
Now, okay.
Some people said I look like the gardener in it.
A little bit. Okay. This is just like Pieces. You might be wondering what? Vestron via Lionsgate has already put Slaughterhouse High on Blu-ray. Why would Severin be involved? 4K. Now, Lionsgate's not totally open about acquiring, letting their films go, but they have no interest in probably spending money on the 4K game. Well, Severin is, and I can see them doing a balls to the wall 4K. This, along with Pieces, two of the best slasher films. People could talk Friday the 13th and Elm Street all they want. Give me these lo-fi, Down and Dirty, Slaughter High in Pieces. This, no brainer, man.
Yeah, I'm going to say about Slaughter High. It's one of my favourite movies. It's so cheesy. It's got great kills. It's just sad what happened to the guy who played the villain. I can't remember his exact name, but he died, didn't he?
Yeah, the guy that played Marty, I don't remember the actor's name. If you look him up, it says he died by suicide. Now,
yeah, it was an accidental overdose.
Yeah, but I heard it was overdose, which in some people's minds might be suicide. But when I think of suicide, I think of purposely.
Well, the way I see it is accidental suicide through overdose.
Yeah. So, I mean, he didn't,
You know?
I don't even know if he made it to the movie's premiere, like it coming out. It was very, very shortly after this film was
made.
He
died 2 months later.
And then you got all these people like Caroline Munro, and they're obviously not teenagers, but they're playing teenagers.
Yeah, she was 30 in it.
She was 30, but she looked great, don't get me wrong, but I always thought the casting was kind of interesting. That was a popular thing in the 80s where they didn't hire 18 to 22-year-olds. They would hire 28 to 32-year-olds. And
what's interesting about the movie was they had such low budget. They had part American and part English cast. That's why a lot of the people in it, when you look at them, when you watch it back, you notice they're UK soap stars. Because they didn't have the funding to have what they wanted. So they had to shoot the film in England, in a school in England, to save the money.
But it works, man. I can't tell. It doesn't even look like it looks like it's shot in the United States. I really wouldn't know.
This is one of those films where after watching how he gets swirly, he has those legs upside down like you see in like video games. It made me want to swallow everybody I know.
So definitely, I know there's a lot of pundits out there saying, what are you guys talking about? Slaughter High and Pieces are not coming out because other people have the rights to it. Well, money talks, and Severin's got deep pockets. So if they want to get something done, I'm sure they can work it out. So
I'm going to tell you guys now, this is coming faster than I can come.
And we're talking 2 seconds, people. Now, here's a film that has been floated out there too, which is a Lucio Fulci sex comedy, but it's not The Eroticist. It's La Praetora with the beautiful
Edwin Finch.
Never heard of it, never seen it, but would buy it because it's Fulci and it's,
I'd buy it day one just for a naked body.
And as you can see, I had to put a little heart over there to cover it up because the artwork
spoiled it.
Yeah, you're going to get a lot of her in the film. But this one is.
I want the one where she's the teacher. There's a film called Something Teacher, and it has all her students. They want to give her one, and she wears like these hot leather boots and everything, and she gets.
Now, has this ever been put out? Like, I mean, obviously, I have an artwork that looks like a DVD in some country, but has this ever had a domestic release? I don't recall this one.
I don't think it has. If it did, it was through my communications. But I don't believe it did because my communications released a lot of these type of her films, but I don't remember seeing this one.
With no extra features and bad picture quality. So if it did come out, it's worth an upgrade. This one is not in the ad. This is one I kind of been hearing chatter on the internet about. But again, I love me some Lucio Fulci, so I am absolutely down for that. Here's another one. Now, this one kind of had a soft announcement. Severin owns the right to this film. It's directed by Lamberto Bava. It's kind of his take on his father's, Mario Bava's, Black Sunday, called The Mask of Satan. It's got Deborah Capodiglio from...
just look at her.
Pinto Brasses, look at Paprika. Beautiful woman. You can see she's
packing some heat.
And I've watched it before, and it's a TV film. If I remember right, it's got some skiers who, stumble upon like some cavern, and then, there's the mask and the witch, and Severin's going to release it. They have the rights to it. I hope it's this sale because I want to watch a good picture quality copy of it. I don't want
Well, they've been releasing a lot of TV movie series lately every sale, so I won't be surprised.
Have you ever heard of it before I mention it to you?
I've heard of it, but I've not had a chance to see it.
Okay.
And after seeing those dreadlocks on the thing, I want to see it.
It's Medusa
I
style,
want to see if
man.
they get between the, you know what.
Okay, Supernatural. This artwork alone sells me on the film. I've never heard of it until recently. I didn't know what it was. It looks like it's a film based off its running time of like
Yeah.
90 minutes. It's 80s
Oh, it's definitely a
horror.
film.
Well, dum-dum. Hey, this is my kind of film. I could just tell from the artwork and the
There's
the,
one,
the
so VHS cover. If you saw that, like use VHS thingy, get VHS player, buy it, buy a VHS player.
yeah. I mean, I like it. It kind of has that artwork like the Power, the horror film from the 80s. These
Is that
kind
a
of things,
rat?
it looks like a cat, a dog, or it could be a rat that's been monsterized. I don't know. But
I don't know why, but it looks like it's got a face.
who knows, man? But it definitely it's something I would not even like hesitate to pick up. I would just not even question it. It would be mine.
Oh, it does look
So
good. I'd pick up.
okay. Now this one's the long shot. Okay. So we know Severin put out a bunch of Michele Soavi films. Cemetery Man, The Sect, The Church. People are thinking Severin's going to do a 4K of Stage Fright. This is the case where I don't think it's going to happen because I don't think the owner of Blue Underground, Bill Lustig, has any interest in letting this one go. He put
I
out a
don't think
3-disc
so.
Blu-ray. He'll do the 4K of himself. I think this is a stretch to think Severin's going to do it.
I said that. I've actually joked about that before we came on.
Who did you joke with it about? Who did you talk to?
No, to you. I joked, remember, about Supernatural, the series, remember?
Oh, I know, but okay. But what about the Stage Fright? Did somebody tell you they thought it was going to come?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, it's up to you.
You know. Okay, Aaron said if he thought it was going to be Stage Fright, and he could be right to a degree. They could be coming out, but was right about Opera. But then we all know Opera was coming out anyways, really. So
I hope he's right. I've kind of
I
not picked
don't.
up Stage Fright.
I don't want him to be right, and I'll tell you why. I don't want him to be right because I prefer the 4Ks coming through Blue Underground because they're spotless, they're perfect.
Yeah, I think this is Michele's best film, Stage Fright, also known as Aquarius. I like all his films. He didn't direct a lot of films, but I felt this one was just like a nice old school slasher film. Very
I love the
original.
deaths in this.
The deaths, the character, the costume, the
soundtrack,
the stage, the setting, it all works. Okay, so now those are the films that we either think are coming or in the ad. Malcolm and I are going to give our top 5 picks for the sale. Now, these ones should all be discounted. Obviously, we jumped ahead. We don't know exactly, but I feel like anything released before 2024 will be on sale. And so all these films that we're about to recommend are part of that. So let's start with Malcolm's first pick.
Ooh, Black Candles. And you forgot to take the nudie off the cover as well, because in the background you can see the fun bags. So there we go. This film is a Spanish kind of Satan, kind of worshipping movie. A lot like Satan's Blood and stuff like that. And I have to say, this movie, when I went in, I thought it wasn't going to be that great. But my word, is it a lot of fun. You see goat sex. You see somebody getting a sword up their jacksie. And you just can't help but fall in love with all the psychotic Satanist women in it. And just in case you want to question it, there's a lot of sex. Lots and lots of sex. And I love the moment where the woman's about to have sex with the guy. He's got her from behind. And she goes, "Get off me," right? And in the next scene, she's riding him like a cowgirl. Ooh, It's a lot of fun. It's worth the money. And I'll be honest with you, if I could buy 18 more copies with different cuts, I would.
from director Jose Larraz. Very good film.
Yes.
I own the Blu-ray as well. Where can I pre-order it?
Severin Films.
The movies that we're about to you could pre-order it now, but wait, Darcidius. When the summer sale starts, this will be discounted, so you'll get it cheaper. So hold off till July 12th through the 15th and get it at a discounted price. We're just kind of jumping ahead here and giving our recommendations for films that we own that we like.
Or go to Amazon and buy it, right, and get practically close to the price already.
Man, this movie is
a crazy film. This
Nightmare, also called Nightmare in a Damaged Brain, the film that Tom Savini didn't really work on as a makeup artist. He was more like a kind of an assistant, kind of a consultant. There's an infamous picture of him with the kid, and Savini's holding the axe, showing the kid how to swing it. But come to find out, the real makeup artist, which I'm sorry, I don't remember his name. When you watch the extra features, this is a film Savini doesn't like to talk about, and now I know why. The guy that was the original makeup artist committed suicide. And Savini hints that it might have to do with that guy not getting credit for the film. And then the producer is putting Savini's name on it because they wanted to be able to say, you know, the guy that did Dawn of the Dead and Friday the 13th. And without knowing the facts, he could be right. Kind of a sad story, a great sleazy ass film that it's I highly recommend.
What's sad is if he you know, ended his life because nobody remembered him, you still don't remember him by not really saying his name.
Do you remember his name?
I do. I can tell you right now, his name was Juan.
If you care, Simone. Yeah, that's no. But unfortunately, it's a sad story. But the film is man,
it's great fun. They recently released it on 4K.
The first time I heard of Nightmare was on a VHS compilation tape before Terror in the Aisles called Terror on Tape, which took place in a video store. Cameron Mitchell worked the store. Different customers come in for recommendations. One of them was Michelle Bauer, and they went over films that I had never heard of, like Nightmare, and just these different kind of under the radar kind of horror films are the kind of things I like now. Terror on Tape. If you can find a copy of it, it's a fun watch. But that's the first time I heard of Nightmare.
This is one of those films which is really crazy, but you just can't put it down. It's great. I don't even have to say anything about this film, really. If anybody watches cinema, you know what this is. This is Lucio Fulci's lovely saxophone sex scene movie. And about a woman who was abused by a boyfriend, can't get over him because he died, kidnaps an older man because of it, and treats him like a dog. And then, good things happen. This film is exactly how I fantasize about getting a hot woman. You
want them to force you to eat dog food?
I wouldn't mind if it meant I eat them afterwards.
Oh, boy. Ooh. The YouTube censors are not going to like that, but
hey, you're the one who said it, not me. So this just came out on 4K, masterpiece. I love this. It's one of Fulci's best movies when it comes to emotional heartbreak and what abuse can do to you, and how sometimes the person who's been abused doesn't realize they've been fully abused, and then they abuse someone else. It's a very beautiful story, and it's one of those films that I will always have deep down in my heart, along with such classics as All Ladies Do It, The Key.
Some more Tinto Brass.
Pour them in there. Oh, yeah, and don't forget, what's that word? What can't I remember? Sex All Night or whatever. It's the film Crazy Sex and all that from Jess Franco,
Yeah, because I believe Devil's Honey is 84. And this is kind of like Fulci was coming out of his kind of peak horror where, the Beyond, Gates of Hell, House by the Cemetery, Zombie. This one kind of is not one people think of much, but for the longest time, you couldn't own it. It really wasn't available, but now it is.
I feel like anybody who collects films, so let's say you collect just kids' films, you pick up this film. If you collect only sports films, you pick up this film. This is a film that's universal for all kinds of movie lovers. If you just like watching trains go by, this film. There's plenty of bike riding scenes. There's all this. But you've got to watch it for the saxophone scene alone because that's such a loving moment. I wanted to interact that with, I wanted to do that with Donna, but not with a saxophone, but with a trumpet instead. But I can't play it, so.
I do like the nice little touch, the little homage to the Beyond with the girl and the dog, right? Right
Yes,
next to each other.
Great.
No, I own that. I own Devil's Honey. I do enjoy it.
Would you upgrade?
Maybe. For the right price.
It's a great film. It's a great film.
Joe D'Amato. I was really excited that all these films got put out by Severin. Anthropophagus, Beyond the Darkness, which up until Severin's release, I'd never seen it, heard of it. This is, I love horror, all genres, all decades, but there's a special place in my, dark heart for the late 70s to kind of early 80s, like 78 to 83. Just can't be beat for me. These kind of films. Joe D'Amato really didn't really want to get into horror. He got in trouble with, the court system, with the sex films, and it kind of pushed him into horror. Eventually in the 90s, he did straight, triple X hardcore films, but he was right there with those guys like Dario Argento, Lucio Fulci, putting out these films, and he didn't do a ton of them. But these ones definitely rank right up there with them. It's some of my favorite.
Totally.
You own this one?
Yeah, I own it actually 3 times. I've got the Severin one, I've got the 88 Films one, I've actually got the Italian release of it too.
I like that. You own it 3 times, and 3 times on this artwork it says Beyond the Darkness, Beyond the Darkness, Beyond the Darkness. It is representing how.
But the question is, do you have the limited edition slip that they released for it?
I do not, no. But you can give it to me since I'm so nice to you all the time, and you can ship it.
You want me to give you the slip? All right, maybe.
Look at all those films behind you. You can give up a few. Come on, and some slip covers.
Nah, I can't give up any of them.
You can't?
Every single one of them is like an ex-lover.
You're too legit to slip? Come on.
Too legit to slip. That's so cheesy. Too legit to slip.
Well, of course it's cheesy. I said it.
Jacoda!
Strike Commando, which I don't own 1 or 2. So talk me into buying this film.
Oh, I'll talk you into buying it. So it stars, what's his name?
Juan Pierre Simon.
What's his name? That weird guy. He's in a lot of them. It don't matter. He's forgettable anyway, but he's in quite a few of them. Right? Anyway, he's on a mission, and there's this kid, right? All I've got to tell you to say is this. There's a guy called Jacoda in this one. Right? And Jacoda's a mean son of a gun who likes torturing people. Right? He grabs hold of the lead, right? Tortures him, all this, and there's this little kid. And he says to him at one point, he goes, Mister, will you take me? I'm doing the voice because obviously they're in like Vietnam or something. So I'm not mocking. I'm just trying to do it to get the fact, He goes, of the kid, right? So he goes, Mister, does Disneyland exist? And he goes, yeah, it does, right? Well, when the kid gets blown up, he runs into the building and the kid's in his arms like this, right? And it's like that. And he goes, tell me about Disneyland. And he goes, there's pineapple trees, there's bananas, there's all, and you're like, you're not telling him anything about Disneyland. You're talking about fruit trees. What the hell? But it's over the top. It's stupid. It's comedic. It's badly dubbed. It's just everything you want from like an Italian ripoff. I think it's a Bruno Mattei film as well.
Oh, I like his films. You always know you're going to get some good camp and, some gory. So is it a ripoff of like Commando with Arnold Schwarzenegger? Or
yeah,
just
it is. It's kind of a ripoff. It's kind of a ripoff like that. I just want to get the guy's name quickly because I felt a bit stupid for not having that ready. Yeah, it's Bruno Mattei, 1987, and it was Red Brown who played the lead role. So if you know with Red Brown, you know you're going to get cheesy, messed up, like awfulness. You know, and his name is Michael Ransom. So imagine that, Michael Ransom.
He's going to hold you.
Absolutely brilliant movie. And there's the sequel's just as good, but it has ninjas in it.
Blood Moon. I remember the artwork forever. It finally came out on Blu-ray. So this is a recent release. I don't think this is going to be discounted, but I don't think you need to wait for a discount to pick it up. Late 80s Australian slasher film. Kind of hits on all the, the gory parts. There's some fun, kind of like college action, fraternity action. Pleasantly surprised, but I kind of knew this was in my wheelhouse. This is the kind of film that I like. Absolutely recommend it, on sale or not. Can't miss the artwork's got like a circle. It's like a barbed wire circle, which is kind of the weapon of the film. Love it.
Ooh.
Very much recommend Blood Moon.
All right, well, since you recommend it, I'll buy it this sale.
You won't be disappointed. If you're an 80s slasher film fanatic like I am, you're going to be all over this.
So it's Bloody Moon, yeah?
Blood Moon. Oh, you're thinking of Bloody Moon. You're thinking of Jess Franco film. I got you.
So everybody, Bené's got the wrong cover. It's Bloody Moon, not Blood Moon.
Very cool. One of my.
I didn't watch it, so I'll definitely pick it up.
So what next? Ooh,
Emmanuel and Francis. This is one of those movies which I got to be honest. I put it in, and George Eastman in it, also known as Luigi. What is it? Mozzarella cheese or whatever his name is. I don't know. Right?
Mozzarella
and
cheese.
he said in the special features, I'm going to keep saying he said at the minute, right? He said that he chose how the film should end, right? Apparently, originally, was it Joe D'Amato that did this film?
It's Joe D'Amato, yeah.
Yeah, I thought so. Because I know he did a lot of these kind of movies at the time. So he said that basically, I'm not going to spoil the ending because obviously the ending is the big thing. But he said that originally the ending was going to be a little bit more easy. So he said, no. Do it this way. I'm glad he did because the film has so much great tension. Because basically what it is Emmanuel's sister, Frances, is with George Eastman and basically he abuses her and eventually she dies. And Emmanuel wants to get revenge on him. So she takes him prisoner and you see all this craziness happening around him. And you're like, is this him dreaming? Is he going crazy? Is this happening? And it's such a smart, brilliant, and it's very different to your average Emmanuel film. But you can't help but love how it is. And the character who plays Emmanuel, I can't remember what her name is. Do you know what her name is?
I don't remember.
Such a beautiful woman, And I recommend this. I'd buy this on a sale because it's obviously going to be on sale because it's one of the older titles. But I would buy it in a heartbeat.
I do own it. I recommend it as well. If you want if you show D'Amato, you're going to get a lot of nudity, a lot of beautiful women. The guy knew how to cast his films and wasn't afraid to show things. So
let's be honest, George Eastman is a believable stud.
I mean, that's 2 thumbs ups from us. And we got some more D'Amato. Caligula 2, the untold story. Nothing to do with the original with Peter O'Toole and Helen Mirren and Tinto Brass directed it, but kind of Malcolm McDowell. Of course, you got the beautiful Laura Gemser on the cover. Man, I just love these kind of films that capitalized on more prestigious, bigger budgeted films. I don't know what it is with D'Amato, but that guy really loves horses, doesn't he?
He knew what he was doing.
He has a lot of horse diddling going on in a number of his films, and they don't shy away. I don't know how this gets, put out there without somebody censoring it. I'm glad they don't.
So you saying you're into horse diddling?
No, I've noticed I've owned quite a few of his films and they pop up.
Because you said you're glad they didn't censor the whole Stidland.
Well, they shouldn't censor it when you're a grown adult buying a not rated film.
Okay, fair enough.
You know what I'm saying? That's all. I think the video nasty days of censorship are pretty much behind us, and it's that's good to see. And I like that Severin takes risk and puts out films that people would be like,
Now the question is, do you have the limited edition one of the coin?
I was tempted to get it. I didn't because I looked at the price and I was like, man, it's just not worth it. It's cool to look at, but it's just going to sit on my shelf. And
if I knew this was on the list, I'd have flipped that coin constantly during this part of the video. Like,
oh, you were bored? Okay. Heads or tails?
Yeah, heads or tails, which would have been Severin or the heads, and I'd be like, oh.
But you obviously
is this the one? Not to spoil it. Is this the one which has the twist at the end where she has the issue?
I think so. I have to watch it again. It's been a few months since I've seen it, but they kind of push the R ratings. They're not. This is not a triple X film. This is not like the Caligula where Penthouse owner Bob Guccione went and took a lot of his models and inserted triple X scenes. It doesn't go there, but it straddles between X and double X at times.
Yes, because the other one in the set actually does have triple X scenes in it.
Yeah. I mean, that's a great set. Thank you for bringing up both of them. This one we're talking about is Caligula 2, The Untold Story, available through Severin. There's another one. I want to say it's Bruno Mattei or somebody else.
Yeah, it's Bruno Mattei. And it also has Laura Gemser in as well.
Can't have enough of Laura.
Mm-mm.
All right. This is actually your fifth and final pick. Patrick Still Lives.
This needs a 4K urgently because I put this on and I've got to be honest, I just can't say it. This film is just so incredible. The emotion. If you want to see the woman in Burial Ground who plays the mother butt naked, you watch this movie, right? If you want to see a blonde girl with a perfect body dancing around while it goes in a coma, get this movie. If you want to see the most ridiculous way he ends up in the coma by getting a glass thrown out the window smashed on his head, watch this movie. This movie is the definition of what Patrick should have been from day one. I love this movie. I cried to this movie. This movie has everything. It's How to Kill a Mockingbird. It's Schindler's List. It's Shawshank.
It's 12 Angry Men. It's
all of it. It's a touch of death. You name it. It's all of it. I love this movie. This movie is a masterpiece, and I highly recommend to anyone. If you want to have a sleaze fest, watch this movie. I'm going to give this movie 4 hard-ons out of 5 because it's incredible.
It gets 5 out of 5 for me. And talk about a sequel smoking the original, which I don't think is that good of a film, but this kind of lives on its own.
Yes, it's perfect.
It's Euro sleaze at its best.
Yes.
It's the kind of film that you're never bored as you're watching it.
Exactly.
Whatever amount of money you paid for it, you don't even think about it. You're like, I want more of this. Yes. You might buy 10 films and like 2 or 3, but it's a movie like Patrick Still Lives that you go, this is why I collect physical media. It's that rush you get from the 1, 2, 3 films that you're like, I would have never seen this before if I hadn't bought it.
Well, I'll say this. If you want to watch a great back-to-back double bill, this and Burial Ground go perfectly together.
Burial Ground. I thought about putting that one on my list too, but I think it's definitely not underrated like it used to be. I think everybody knows what that film is now.
Burial Ground does have the best scene in movie history with that weird-looking man who plays the kid.
The old man playing the young man.
Where he starts feeding her up and she says no and slaps him and he runs off and he goes, "What's wrong with me? I'm your son." And you're like, and nobody at that point is going, "How evil are you? Or as a mother are you?" They're all like, "This kid is mentally ill."
my last pick, even if you're not a fan of his films and he's directed, I don't know, over 200, Faceless is probably my favorite.
Can we get you singing the song quickly?
I don't remember it. I know it plays over the opening credits. What I noticed about this film, it looks really good. It's shot in Paris. It just looks so authentic that you realize you're watching a film. Franco was really, churning out films one after another, sometimes not caring if it was good or not. This is late 80s. It's horror. He didn't do a lot of straight horror. This one works. Faceless. This is his greatest film that I've seen. Still haven't seen them all because the guy's done so many. But the slipcover art for this is also beautiful. But definitely by this one.
Signed.
Oh, by Bridget?
Yeah.
Bridget?
Because I got the book bundle, you remember? You know when that came out? I didn't replace that book, actually. It got broke.
So
when we moved.
So what I'm noticing is we own a lot of the films that we recommended, not knowing what we were going to put out there to people.
Yes.
So just a few pickups here and there that we have to grab that we don't own. But anybody out there in the comments, anything you want to recommend, anything that you want to talk about? We had a lot of people in here at the beginning and kind of bounced up and down throughout the video. But I do want to get back to the big title of the sale.
One thing I will say about Faceless, while you go back to that, is I love how the ending, as an ending you won't expect.
Kind of a downer of an ending, right?
Yeah. Yeah, it's a great film. Great film. Highly recommend. If you don't like Jess Franco movies, you'll like this one because it's not like all the pervy ones you're used to seeing. A bit like when you watch the film noir ones that came out before them.
Right. So let's recap. Severin's big summer sale is July 12th, 13th, 14th, and 15th. They're kind of releasing movies a little early. The announcements are a little earlier than I thought. Maybe we'll get a couple a week leading up to the sale. Right now, they've announced two.
I won't be surprised if it's one Monday, one Tuesday, one Monday and one Friday.
Yeah, and it's good to look at the site now. About a week before the sale, they will put the site in quiet mode where you can't see. And I don't think it's a good idea to go in blind when it does go live and you get overwhelmed by the new movies and looking at the back catalog. I'm the kind of connoisseur of physical media that preps way in advance. So I have a list. Maybe on my computer, I've saved the artwork so I know where I'm going, what do I want to buy and what I don't. The Severin prices have kind of gotten a little bit out of hand with the 4K and the shipping and handling. The 4K, I think, is a little bit understandable because that's such an expensive process.
Yeah.
The fans have demanded it, so, be careful what you wish for.
What I'd like to say is go on the site beforehand, like you said, and check the prices because they change the prices and they sometimes charge you more than what half price should be.
Yeah, it's not good. I mean, don't get me wrong. I love Severin and what they do. I own quite a bit of their films, but unless it's a site exclusive for the sale, which what the last horror film was, which they acquired through Troma, if you wanted the Maniac 2 slipcover, those are the kind of things you look out for. Look, if it's only being sold during a sale, and it's possible several of their films are going to be that way, don't wait or you'll end up on eBay paying, $150, $200. But
well, that's what our second title is. That second title is an exclusive to the sale.
Yeah, but something like Opera, of course, I'm going to say buy it, but there's not a limited run. So in 2 years, it's still going to be for sale. Now, if you're a big slipcover or slipbox person, you get it early before they do sell out and become convention exclusives. But you have to be careful what you do with your money.
Yeah.
Like, don't break the bank for some movies that like I don't own Cemetery Man, The Sect, and The Church because I felt like they priced me out when they dropped during the Black Friday sale last November. But here we are 6 months, 7, 8 months later, they're still available and I'm going to get them at a much better price. So,
well, what I say is, if you've got a choice between Opera, The Sect, The Church, Cemetery Man, or the Birdemic trilogy with the lenticular, I go for that.
yeah, that's a bird crap of a trilogy. I'm good.
But
Yeah,
no,
they're
I
very,
think you should always wait for a sale if you can, if it's not limited, because the problem is if you can get the 4Ks for, let's say, 25, 30 instead of 45, 55, you're able to buy two for the price of one practically then.
yeah, I mean, somebody might come in here and think this is counterproductive. No, we're giving you pro and con. The 90% of this video is about us being horror fans and exploitation fans and telling you what we like and what we recommend. But I think it would be a dishonest and disloyal for me to go, look, you still got bills to pay. You still have things you have to take care of first. So think about, okay, do I wait 6 months for it to get discounted? Do I wait for it to go over to Amazon? Yeah, that means Severin doesn't get as much of the cut, but at the end of the day, you have to worry about paying your bills too. So
what we need to call this channel is Benay's Bloody Bits and Dad's Advice. Because, guys, it's sale series, right? So ignore this. Spend all your money. Go homeless. Have just a disc. Go into some random store. Put it in the player. Watch it on the big TV while you're sitting on the couch. Probably smelling pretty bad because you're living on the streets at this point, right? And be happy. Don't listen to these wise advice. Listen to this.
Well, I think it's also honesty is the best policy, and it proves that I'm not here. I didn't do this channel or these videos to get free movies from the companies. I don't care. I mean, don't get me wrong. It would be nice, but this is not why I do it. I do it because I'm a fan looking out for other fans, and I hope that comes through in the video.
Well, if I'm being serious with you guys, you should always be careful. If you run out of money and you've got a girlfriend or wife, there's a reason. All right? You put an ad in the paper, you put a card in the phone box, you make some money. Right? Then you buy more movies. Yeah? No, in all seriousness, I'm joking. I'd never do that. But in all seriousness, though, guys, you've got to be careful. It's easy to do it. I've done it. Right? Well, I spent way too much money. And at the end of the day, more likely you won't watch it all before the next sale anyway. So what happens is you have that backlog. You spend, let's say, $60 on something you could then buy for 30 at the next sale. So make sure you get stuff that you know you're going to watch in that period. Because otherwise what's going to happen is it's going to build up. You're going to have way too much. You're going to go, damn it, I've wasted money if I could have saved here, because that's what happens to me all the time.
And Malcolm is proof. He's speaking from, he knows. This is his history. Yes. This is what he does. Yes. There's nothing worse than getting like buried by your media and go, there's not enough hours in the day to ever catch up on these films.
It's true. I've got 7 titles from 3 years ago that I haven't watched yet.
Are they still shrink wrapped?
They're still shrink wrapped, actually. Over there, they're still shrink wrapped. 2 are the Jess Franco film ones. One's the Birdemic trilogy that I bought. And then there's a couple of documentary ones, and there's the Jack the Ripper one.
Jack the Ripper. Yeah, see, I just don't want to get to that point. I feel like I've gotten it under control. At one point in time, I was more like you. Yeah. Gotta have it all. Gotta have it all. Just it's like a drug. It's like a rush. You get, there's a lot worse things you could be doing with your money. I just feel bad.
You're still wasting it in a way.
I'm getting really tired of watching people flip movies that just came out. Like literally.
I hate that. That's one thing you'll never see me do.
I don't think they're flipping it for the money. I think they have like buyer's remorse, and they're like, "What did I do?" And then
I'm going to be honest with you here. When I see those people, I feel like their cinema card should be cut in half, and they should be put in a timeout, and they should be put in like in a straitjacket, because you got to be careful. You just got to, you know, I mean, I've got the Toxic Avenger 4K set up, boy, when it came out, and I still haven't watched it.
Well, I have a little message from Malcolm and I. Thank you, everybody, for watching. We had a lot of fun doing this. I want to do another video when the sale goes live. I don't want to do it like the exact second because the time difference between Malcolm and I is just too big, and I'm not going to have somebody sleep deprived do that. Next Monday, we will be back with Where's the Blu-ray?
Yep, where's the Blu-ray? And it's going to be
streaming edition. All movies that are streaming, which very well could mean they never come out on Blu-ray, but so what? We'll throw them out there anyways. And yeah, that'll be next Monday. Same bat time, same bat channel. We'll do it 2 o'clock my time. Thank you, everybody, for watching. Appreciate all your support. And we will talk to you soon. And thank you very much, everybody.
Thanks, guys. Take care.
Thank you.